Welcome back, World Cup fans, to the business end of the group stages. 16 teams will wrap up deals to appear in the knockout stages of the Sport of Kings. World champions Brazil are assured of their place in the knockout stages. Norway and Scotland will compete for the privilege to join alongside them. Hadji, great footwork from him, and Leighton stands his ground. Dunga was careless in his attempt at picking up Ronaldo. He's hoofed up field and flow. Has knocked it forward. Solskjaer, all on your own, as Bobby Brown would say. Tafarayal adjusts himself accordingly. Rivaldo has his free kick, plucked out of thin air by Grodas. Leonardo, Bebeto, fell to Ronaldo, pulled it wide. El Hadjioi marching down the left-hand side. Played into Hada. It's a good low stretch from Leighton. How much of it did he see? That's the question. There's Hadji. Shot blocked. Chiba given a bonus chance. Dunga. Bebeto may have broken through it. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Just 1 year away from Champions League history. Torre Andre Flo. More like Torre Andre Flair. He's teaching the Brazilians a few things about footwork. Cross into the area. Solskjaer. Leonardsson doesn't catch all of the volley, but it doesn't matter. Turns out it's more than enough to clumsily fall into the Brazilian net. Norway have a stunning lead over the world champions. It was instigated by the even flow of Torre Andre. Solskjaer improvises, is flicked up and nailed home by Leonardsson. There's Mustafa Hadji. Bit of time for Aboujalil Hada to drill it down the centre of the Scottish goal. And Group A is becoming the group of alarm for Scotland. The Africans are going home, but they're taking the Scottish with them. Rivaldo cuts inside, drifts it across the face of goal. Ronaldo finds the goal, the frame of the goal. It's anything but low from Ronaldo. Roberto Carlos with the trademark run, and it's more like Roberto Larcos with the anticlimactic hit. Norwegian cross comes in, float. Great save from Tafarayal. 15 minutes for Scotland to find a lifeline. Collins back to Burley. He goes down. Burley hits the wall. Not quite the magic foot of the game against Norway and Bordeaux, but nonetheless, it's Scott Gemmell who has found a twinkle of hope. The Scottish goal difference deteriorated against Brazil. It's not going to be enough. By this stage, they're counting on a Brazilian thrashing of the Vikings, but it's nothing of the sort in Marseille. Bebeto! What a palm from Grodas. All hands on deck for Scotland. It's sent forward to John Collins. It's a Fakar in that Moroccan penalty area. It's like trying to fit a square sausage in a hot dog bun. Brazil on the verge of World Cup upset. Ronaldo off the post. Corner kick, 3 minutes to go. And Egan fails to clear his lines and is belted home by Edmundo. Well, it's not total humiliation for the Seleção. Dan Egan with egg on his face with a lackluster clearance. Brazil firing blanks. They've used up all their goals in the first 2 games. Here's Dunga. Here is Edmundo, the goal scorer. Edmundo! The super sub smashes it. That took all his energy as the ball was rolling away from the goal. He is the hero of Brazil's third group game. The fire of the Fiorentina striker, what an impact. The Scottish fairy tale is coming to a close. Can they end their World Cup on their terms? And the own goal is prevented. A tedious game provided by Morocco. Scotland played more like Scatland. And Brazil leave it to the last 3 minutes to secure 3 wins in the group stage. The runners-up of the previous World Cup yet to secure their first win. 1990 surprise packages Cameroon will only need a draw to qualify. Chile, much like Italy, yet to sample their first taste of victory. Well, the taste buds are erect. It is Jose Luis Sierra. Premature start for Chile. And it's not a bad finish at all from the midfielder. That's into Del Piero. He's been let off by Christian Vieri. Here is Vieri. Well reached by Concel. There is Mboma. Mboma again. Just no match for the fortitude of Fuentes. First the Italian corner, and it's a first goal for the Azzurri. Oh, it wasn't as pretty as some of these Italian men, but they'll take it. The Austrians will take the goal. It's not credited to Christian Vieri. Concel and Malik will argue amongst themselves who was responsible. Tony Polster, the only man with a hope of making contact, forces the keeper to work. There is Zamorano. Chilean legend yet to show us a goal at this World Cup. Cannavaro can't intercept cleanly. Vastic fails to punish it, and Polster is denied by a phantom block from Costa Curta. Denied by the spine of Costa Curta. Vieri takes it into his stride. This energetic young man, look at him. Fearless and fluky. It's gone in. A wildly catastrophic deflection. And for some reason, Concel, surrounded by blue shirts, has a blue screen of death in that Austrian brain of his. Sierra, the goal scorer. It was nearly elegantly flicked on by Zamorano. Wome. And here is Mboma. He's just snuck through. Barely kept out by Tapia. Di Biagio. Here is Vieri. And Di Livio hurricanes it over. Couple of minutes to go in this first half. Great pass from Corneo to Rojas. Crossed into Zamorano. Imagine if he keeps it low enough. Marshall Salas on the turn. It's caught by the keeper. Rainmeyer cuts inside, gets a cross in. It's squeezed in by Polster, but he's offside. Costa Curta marching down the right flank. Vieri. He's unable to tuck it in past Concel. An advance from Alembe. He's rolled it through past Tapia. Cameroon are back in their booked seats for the knockout stages. So long as it remains a draw, Cameroon will go through and Chile will have a long flight back across the Atlantic Ocean. Roberto Baggio stays on his feet, resists the urge to flop at the Stade de France. Zamorano. Paraguayas. Nobody's home. Salas keeps this alive. It's backwards to Zamorano. It's gone through. Even Zamorano, the Chilean captain, the living legend, finally has his goal in the World Cup record books, and it may be a significant one. Chile could go through off the back of it. Last chance for Cameroon, the header goes screeching wide. Italy are through, despite not scoring a clear goal themselves, and Cameroon, who started the day as the leaders, are out. The World Cup hosts aren't completely safe, not if Denmark and South Africa win by considerable margins. Henry to Zidane, who releases the young Prince of France, Thierry Henry, one-on-one with Schmeichel. He's beaten the keeper, but the goal sings, "I am the goalpost." Al-Sharani, first chance for Saudi Arabia, fails. Diokayev creates room for himself, swings in the cross. Henry is unmarked at the back post. Zinedine zooms through the sky to see the first French goal over the line. The hosts lead in Lyon. Goal for South Africa. It's Benny McCarthy, the 20-year-old whiz kid, living the dream at this World Cup. Plays his football at Ajax, the Dutch-South African connection, going strong here in France. Mshweyu taking a stab from distance. It's caught. And it's another. South Africa proving their lethality from corners. Sean Bartlett of the Cape Town Spurs providing a cushion for the Bafana Bafana. That's a pretty embarrassing attempt at a clearance from Desailly. Well, Ebby Sand doing his best to stretch it across the goal. Sand. Here is Ladra. Took too long there, collides with Bartes. Trezeguet, back to Henry. He's fouled. Referee demands the play continues. Thierry Henry hitting the reset button. 1 hour played, it's Al Jahani. Here in Bordeaux to Al Jaber. Robert Pires. Lizaratu. Back to Pires. An elegant cross coming in. And it meets the head of the young David Trezeguet. And with the South African squeeze in Bordeaux and the 2-goal deficit here in Lyon, Denmark are almost certainly out. Zinedine Zidane buying his time. Thierry Henry. He still can't beat Schmeichel. Masinga waiting in the centre. Screeches over the bar. Bartlett dragged down by green shirts. And it was Masinga who drags it wide. Manuela Petit. Here's Gravac. Denmark accept their doom. Stefan Gravac has his name in lights in Lyon. The World Cup hosts heading through with a 100% record. Zidane, Trezeguet, Gravac. David Trezeguet seeking a brace. He tries to chip it over Schmeichel. And that, a flamboyant finger to the French for a fourth. South Africa can't lose their nerve now. They've given away a penalty. Will be nothing more than a consolation if Saudi Arabia converts. Now Jaber does straight down the centre, no nonsense. Wasn't quite as impressive as his goal against the French in the previous game, but Saudi Arabia's legacy in '98 secured by Al Jaber. However, France and South Africa into the last 16 of the World Cup. Group D may be the perennial group of death. Any two can go through. Any one can go home. Okocha. Ebakaru's cross swung in deep. Chilabert punches desperately. Then back in to the mixing bag, and it was a spectacular attempt from Kanu, who can't do. Stoichkov has the first go. Nearly bobbles in. First corner of the game in Lons. Yugoslav Penev. First goal of the deliberation stage of Group D. The surprise package of the previous World Cup continues to stun. They continue to shock, and Spain are the latest victims. Morientes, he struck it well enough, it's 1-1. 2 minutes is all it takes for Fernando Morientes to cancel out the Bulgarian lead. We're back to square one here in Lons. Remember, if Spain and Bulgaria draw, it doesn't matter what Nigeria and Paraguay get up to. Both European teams will go through it. I'm sure both countries are well aware of the criteria to both qualify, but they're both playing for pride here. It's a competition, and they both want to finish top of the group, and Nankov has gotten that memo. from the Bulgarian coach Hristo Bonov. Penyev has been released. And neither Nadal or Amor can close the gap. And Stoichkov extends the Bulgarian breathing space with a brace. With a goal from outer space. An out of this world finish from Hristo Stoichkov. Bicycle kicking Bulgaria to the top of the group. Spain needs an urgent awakening. Their goal difference is being compromised. Nigeria or Paraguay can put them in quicksand if they're not careful. Second corner for Spain, 30 minutes, and it's Morientes! He's prodded them back in to the game. Fernando Morientes, one of the 4 Real Madrid representatives, justifying his selection tonight. Morientes, fortune favours him as the through pass deflects into the path of Alfonso. Nigeria coming forward dangerously. Okocha across the face of goal. Wilson Aruma with a ruiner of a goal for Paraguay's World Cup homecoming. They are shoved to the bottom of the group. And now Nigeria draw the sword to Spain. Chile powerless as the ball passes across his 6-yard box. Ovimarov turns on himself. Penyev in the centre. Nankov is tipped onto the post. Nothing will stop Nankov, except from the checkered fabric of the linesman. Well, he has an idea in the air for Paredes. Surely would have been worth taking it on his chest. What a first half we've had in Lens. Is there one more goal in it? Alfonso dodges Petkov. Dravkov keeps him out. It's pinged through to Jose Cardoso. He's holding it up for dear life, trying to create some wiggle room. Here's Aguilera. Paredes. The post is a cruel mistress for Paraguay. Looped in by Okocha. Smashed on the volley. Wales into the stands of Toulouse. Morientes, there's the nod from Alfonso. Morientes is waiting there unmarked. Dravkov takes the bait and Morientes fails. Just over 20 minutes. And Sergi has practically passed it into the bottom of the net. And Spain are equal again. They're safe for now. They're toying with Bulgaria's fate. Sergi passing this into the goal like a training ground exercise. As it stands, Nigeria are back to being eliminated. Paredes brought down recklessly by Olisek. Yellow card. The unorthodox Jose Luis Chilabert. Oh, he's hit the crossbar. The goalkeeper inches away from World Cup history, scoring from a dead ball. Last roll of the dice for Spain to win the group. It's a power slam from Pizzi past the head of Zafirov on the goal line. Bulgaria were going through with Spain. It's hardly fair, but if life was fair, your mum would be in my bedroom. Bulgaria have to punt this forward. They've got to get it out of their area. But any hope of an equaliser, well, that's gone. A merciless armada of Spanish firepower. One more from Amor. Spain will top Group D. And they will be joined in the knockout stages by the second African team to qualify, Nigeria. Paraguay, who started so brightly in this tournament, used all their goals up in the first 2 games. We are halfway through the climax of the group stage. Koku to Kluivert. Holds his position, waits for the support of Koku. Kept out by Campos. Hernandez drawing support from Blanco. Hernandez takes it early. Sends Van der Sar getting his kit dirty. The draw for the Dutch will be enough to see them through alongside Mexico. But they're not interested. They want the top of the group spot. Dennis Bergkamp, largely untouched in the penalty area. helps Holland into the lead. Bergkamp seeking De Boer on the right-hand side. Rolled into the area from Ronald De Boer. There's a little bit of a cock-up which Koku capitalises on. 2 goals in 2 minutes. Mexico are melting in the heat they would otherwise be immune to in Saint-Etienne. There's Crasson. Oliveira. And Crasson pierces the Korean penalty area. And a long pass pumped forward, and the Korean defender messes it up, and Oliveira surprised by the sudden turn of fortune. It's played on to Kim Do-hoon, and the shot goes over Vermoen. Aspe with a chance. He's made Van der Sar work, and the follow-up is like a fart in church. Sang-chul gets it over the wall with a bad try. It's the first corner kick of the entire game for South Korea. They profited from their only raffle ticket of the game. South Korea, the hosts of a historic upcoming World Cup, with a preview of what's to come. If there was ever a case for a country playing for pride, this is it. Here's Aspe. Hernandez! Netherlands will face the runners-up of Group F if things remain the same. And Kluivert pretty much establishes Holland will face either Germany, Iran, Yugoslavia, or the United States in Toulouse. Toe poked home from Patrick Kluivert. Choi Young-soo almost for a record-breaking second goal for South Korea. Here is the Belgian captain Van der Elst. Belgium resembling anything but the Red Devils they christen themselves. Oliveira. Mpenza. Still Mpenza! Well, hopefully Belgium will have better luck in 2 years' time as they host the Euros alongside their neighbours who are going through to the knockout stages. So too will Mexico. Spain already qualified from the first. Well, Group F can be considered the second group of death. Imagine a World Cup where the reigning European champions are dumped out of the group stage. It's unfathomable, and well, Germany have said hold my beer, but Ali Daei is spilling it for them. Iran with a shock lead over Deutschland, who are defending like monkeys performing surgery with screwdrivers. Iran shoots to the top of the table, and Yugoslavia and the United States fighting to keep their heads above the water. More from Iran, Azizi issuing another warning to the Germans. There's Reina, swept it too far wide. Bierhoff, and look at Klinsmann joining in with the fun. Klinsmann takes it too early perhaps. German corner, swung in. Bierhoff, make no mistake about it, the big man buries it against Iran. Bierhoff scoring the first golden goal in history against the Czech Republic. Scores an equaliser worth its weight in gold equally. Knocks backwards to Brian McBride. Stojkovic stops him. Yugoslavian players getting in his way. More pressure from the United States as it sails over. Kovacevic kamikazing into the United States area. Controlled from Keller. Azizi, astrological hit into the sky. McBride. Regale back to the blonde boy. McBride. Muller, edge of the box. Hits the face of Bagiri. Klinsmann goes down. It's a penalty kick to Germany. And the captain will collect his compensation. He's rolled it home. Germany turn the game around. They're in front. Klinsmann fouled, compensated by taking the penalty kick. It's goal number 3 for the notorious diver, but there was nothing theatric about the foul. Klinsmann was nearly crippled. Beautiful pass to Sikat Madavikia. Daei would have been a delightful goal. Muller to the edge of the area to Haman, stinging the palms. hour played. One place. In the knockout stage. Germany's taken the other. And Stankovic picks out Milicevic. The laughter of Yugoslavia echoes around Nantes. May well be orange v blue in Toulouse. Muller's corner glanced in by Klinsmann. Abidzader was helpless. Dare I say, hassled by Thomas Harslet. Iran paying the price for a shock lead over the European champions. World history is correcting itself. Kobe Jones sidesteps Stojkovic. Here's Claudio Reyna. Reyna gives it back to Wegerle. Oh, that is a howler of a miss. That was the chance to get back in the game. Muller pretty much untouched on the flank. Klinsmann. What does a captain do like Klinsmann? Leads by example. Germany have blown Iran out of the World Cup. ABC, easy as Germany. And now the Iranians running after Klinsmann like children, chasing after a grown man. Klinsmann clinches it, a hat-trick to celebrate. A great German fight back. Mexico might be averting their eyes under their sombreros after watching what they're up against. Iran 1, Germany 5, very much alive in this World Cup, and they will be joined by a sensational Yugoslavian side. The Three Lions may be through, but any of the other three teams, including Romania, have a bleak chance of joining them. Valencia carrying the first advance on England. Valderrama, the man with the most iconic hairstyle in the World Cup, so close to an iconic goal to match. Good trap from Godbarn. He's going to try and take on the Romanian defence, and it paid off. He's been wiped out. Penalty to Tunisia. Slotted home from Mehmed Yunus. Tunisia in front of the stage of the final. They currently have the edge on the Colombians. Galchka, Rakitic. Moldovan's there for the easiest goal of his life. Romania. They entered the game, 2 goals in the first 5 minutes at the Stade de France. May well be a statement for what kind of game we're in for. Michael Owen demonstrating what Colombia have to be aware of. Scholes links up with his United teammate Beckham. And it's in. Whips in a decent cross, met by Beckham. Comfortable save from Mondragon. Mondragon. Rakitic. Heavenly free pass from Hadji. Galka with a delicate lift over Al-Bundajel. The tricolour undeterred by Tunisia's early breakthrough. The only issue they're stuck on is their ghastly goal difference. Paul Scholes looks up and seeks out Michael Owen. Michael Owen getting further and further away with every step. Almost a perfect recreation of that goal against Argentina. Debalsi. Bayer belts it on the volley. Spieler sandwiched by red shirts. Scholes. There's Owen. Skips over Palacios. Ramos Valderrama. Michael Owen. Merseyside's magic midget makes music with his miniature metatarsals. He's already England's youngest World Cup goal scorer, and he's cementing himself as one of their most valuable too. So calm, so effortless. France 98 is becoming a festival of frontmen. That's driven with no nonsense down the line to Popescu. Rather surprising, that missed everybody in that box. Well, Moldovan doesn't. No error on that rebound. Second goal of the game for him. And Romania are running away with that Tunisian ticket into the second round. Owen is gliding through past Colombia again. Valderrama loses to Scholes. Owen, eyes on the back of his head, the back heel to Scholes, finding the back of the net. Colombia, we hardly knew ya. Talk about a pocket rocket from Paul Scholes. Talk about World Cup fever. I think England have a spot of gingivitis. Mondragon felt the breath of fire from the red-headed reckoner. Here's Paul Ince. He just watched Paul Scholes put his opening goal to shame. Shearer! Here is the speedster Michael Owen galloping away from Valderrama. Shearer! Oh, it's plucked away. Colombia have pretty much forfeited that midfield to England. Here's Teddy Sheringham. It's all down to Ince to finish the game. He does his job, except that flag is up. He's offside. England's 3 wins out of 3, all but secured, would have been if Ince scored. Bermudez. Here's Valderrama. Whoa! David Seaman sees nothing of that. Maybe a white flash, but Diavila scores an astronomical goal. Colombia reissue the challenge. My word, what a volley. Romania restore a little bit of pride. Surely secured their first win in the last game of the World Cup. But they won't be finishing last in the group. Not thanks to Adrian Lee. Tunisia tumble to rock bottom because of Romania. Here is Nunez, Tunisia's only goal scorer today. Make that 2 because he's played a part in Jelassi's goal. 3 goals in 3 minutes. Maybe too much to ask even of the Tunisians in a high-scoring game like this. Colombia counting their chips. Last roll of the dice. It's off the line. Doesn't miss on the encore. The fat lady silences the English audience. The curtains close on a 2-goal lead for England. Colombia have done just enough to assure their place in the knockout stage. Well, is it typical England, or is it a typo in their World Cup story? Romania take Tunisia down with them. 14 teams through to the knockout stages. Just 2 more spaces up for grabs. At least one will be in the knockout stages for the first time in their history. Veron smashes it with venom. What a furious hit. There is Dawes. Oh, it's an outrageous attempt. An obscure angle. Good save from Kawaguchi. Could have ended up anywhere if the Jamaicans were more aware. Launched in by Ortega. Passed away. Almeida. This is where Jamaica's strength lies, in their pace. Japan certainly outmatched in that regard. Here is Simpson. He's running out of grass, had to take the shot. Bad clearance, Stephen Malcolm might have an opportunity here. It's Malcolm off the post. Japan are jamming, probably too much, too relaxed in that penalty area. Hidetoshi Makata up the line to Hattori. And Shoji Joe with a show jump of a header above the Jamaicans. On paper, Japan are outmatched in size. On grass, it clearly doesn't matter. Japan lead for the first time in their first World Cup. Simeone picks out Batistuta. He realises he has nowhere to go. Almeida sneaks through the open door, slams it shut on his way in. Argentina scream into the lead with a cracking goal against Croatia. You might remember Mateus Almeida's thunderous volley from earlier in the game. Well, he's redeemed himself. Ortega. Batistuta. Veron. A pair of aesthetic Argentinian goals in the same game. Almeida and Veron clearly in competition with each other. Established with a sportsmanlike hug. Both midfielders think their goal is better than the other. Yamaguchi, yep, he spotted Shoji Joe. He couldn't place it beyond Warren Barrett. Here's There's a chance for Jamaica coming up to the hour, and it sails wide. The first meaningful encroach from Croatia, and the cross finds Maric, who drags it wide. Vanya Lopez meets up with Shoji Joe. Boyd doesn't know what's hit him. It's a clever pass across the face of goal, and Lowe just needed that touch. Joe settles himself, goes to Vanya Lopez. Oh, that's a dreadful interception. Batistuta with the Batty goal that buries Croatia to the bottom of the table alongside Jamaica. His form was coming into question when his strike partner Claudio Lopez was outscoring him. Can Japan hold on for 10 more minutes? Yamaguchi, and there's the cross, and there's the goal that will send Japan into the knockout stages in a historic World Cup debut. Takashi Hirano with the exclamation point that punctuates Japan's performance. The Reggae Boys are removed from the World Cup, which means Japan will face England, and Argentina are due for a South American showdown with Colombia. World champions Brazil always find a way, and so has Norway. Italy wasn't as convincing as Chile, but it's the points that count. The festival of French football continues. Hosts France are joined by South Africa. They'll make up the African representation alongside Nigeria, as well as Spain. Never say never as far as the Netherlands are concerned. Mexico go through, as do European champions Germany and dark horses Yugoslavia. England let it go when the stakes were low, but they're through, alongside Colombia. And finally, Argentina and Japan qualify. Jurgen Klinsmann catches up with Euro 96 top goal scorer Alan Shearer. Bulgaria's legacy is left with Stoichkov, who equals Ronaldo for Nalvo. Flamboyant Frenchman Zidane, not far off. We now present your World Cup round of 16 tournament table. All the favourites are through, qualifying top of their groups. The consequences for the runners-up will either be fear or fight. World Cup knockout stage football awaits in France 98. So, PES fans, did your country make it through to the last 16? Which fixture are you looking forward to the most? Which country do you think poses a threat? Who will be upset? Tell me your guess below in text.